Hey guys, we're here playing Titan Transnational and up against Quetzal. This ice wall's pretty bad, I'm not gonna lie. We're just gonna ice up and I don't know if we'll play housekeeping this early. It seems a little bad, with the good chance of getting something stolen off the top of R&D while it's weak. So yeah, we're SanSan and Trick of Light together to try to do a fast advance thing with a remote that's not overly protected. Double prepaid off the start. Really interesting. Do we score this hostile? It's not great to give a bad pub at the start of the game. I'm not going to score it this turn. I'm going to get a hive. The hive will be pretty good until E3 feedback implants comes out. Yeah, dirty laundry in there, that's fine. Wormhole we can put, I don't know, it's hard to say because if there's no other res light, it does nothing, which is quite sad. Firmware updates, we could just slam that in the remote. Nah. Do I want the housekeeping to go out? I think I'll draw with Jackson again. Let's look for some more money or ice. That's actually about what we want. Housekeeping is pretty good early, depending on how many cards they have in their deck that are duplicates that they don't necessarily want. Can definitely slow the runner's development down where they have to draw extra cards, or even in the best case they're trashing cards that they wanted. Usually there's enough like junk that they can throw something out. Yeah, I'll resist for $1. She goes through it, but only once per turn, so we won't get repeatedly hammered here. I was hoping she'd run here actually and lose a click to Enigma. We can't have everything. Yeah, he is going to do this after all. That's satisfactory. So he just didn't install any cards that turn. People will maybe just like try to burst to install a bunch at once, which is fairly awkward. We could let him go here again, or we could try to start doing this. We could install double advance, the wormhole. I think this is fine. We want the Trick of Light counters anyway, and we can recover our money with the hostile takeover. I'd rather him lose a click or ETR. I think ETR is better. So we'll knock him out here when we have these counters to score something with. We can trick our firmware updates. What you really want to trick is a Project Atlas. He has $6. We have another Jackson. I actually say, come here and trash it yourself. Pay your $3. I'm pretty happy with that. He's reconsidered this. He's like, actually, then I can't play Sure Gamble. So, wasted a click. I think he thought I would res this, that I wanted my Jackson. Having the second one means I just don't need to. So this hostile money is coming at a very good time for us. We're now back in the money, and we can get Mark Yell with this, or not, depending. I almost want to put the hive in here and just put the firmware updates and not waste Trick of Light yet. Oh, there's E3. Okay, so this hive is no longer going to keep him out. Discard retrieval run. Pretty pleased to see that go away. So yeah, he's bursting, installing 2 cards in the same turn to only discard 1. It's only the first card each turn forces a trash. So he puts, yeah, 3 things in. Pretty nice. So what we saw was that he was playing Paintbrush and David and E3 and Quetzal. So he would turn things into a barrier, break with Quetzal and E3, and then he had Knife to actually kill them. Sounds like a lot of pieces, and it is a lot of pieces, but it's pretty sweet when it works. So we can go in our R&D next turn. Probably turn off the housekeeping. I think we just score this out again. I don't know. I don't love giving him 2 bad pub this early. So he's going to dig up again and then try to get good use of the prepaids. Install a bunch more things at the same time. Yeah, let's draw this to 8. We don't see an agenda. We get an archer, which is somewhat good. I would probably actually play the archer on R&D. Leaving the ice wall prevents repeated runs. It's probably worth $1 to leave that there. And we'll put out the boot camp. I think that's fine. The other housekeeping we'll just trash. If this one goes away, it's going to be late enough in the game that the other one's probably not as exciting. Oh, he draws from Vigil. I got to worry about that. Retrieval run into the archives here. Oh, laundry. That's good too. Gets this card from John. We're only playing 16 ice, so there's not really enough to protect archives properly. Why did he discard Mimic? Oh, he forgot trashing card from John. Okay. Yeah, Mimic's not much good to him with the archers running around. We do play Caduceus, so it wouldn't be the worst, but... Yeah, okay. So again, he's installing 3 things. Playing around it pretty effectively, but it's still bringing his hand size down, so if we were a kill deck, we could use that to our advantage. I actually think we're just not getting any Atlas. And this puts us at 3 points, so then we can do 2 Atlas to win. I am going to install Advance and play Trick of Light here. So this will let us do Markiel next turn, eat these counters for $3 each, and then we can spend the counters for $1 each and putting, you know, advances on something we want to keep to fuel the Trick of Light again later on. So we'll res this boot camp. We will search for Markiel, who's a champ. He doesn't get a tag here. It's just Octagon doesn't know if his run successful or not. Gonna run here. We have 2 bad pub now, so there's really no point in just letting him trying to tax him or anything. We'll just put the hedges back and the Trick of Light. He will be successful to get his card. Nice thing with Markiel is I almost have to run him if you put him in a remote. And they have to deal with it, and it's tough. Like, we can probably get him to consume his entire David, breaking the archer. So I'm hoping to get a nice run here. We waste his time with that. I could put the second one down. I don't hate doing that just in case I draw too many cards later on. Other same old things. So he's going to have retrieval runs coming out. He's going to have... Haha, that's funny. Discards the paintbrush to the accounting so that he can retrieval run the paintbrush. Pretty slick. So he's now set to kill all my big ice with paintbrush thing. If we can get them res first, like he can paint this and then run with knifed and kill off the wormhole. Has to go through the archer first, which is something he can maybe do. Caduceus is alright. I guess I should have put a Jackson in, but I don't really want to draw too many cards is the problem. still have not seen any Project Atlas, but now we've got a SanSan lined up behind this archer, which is somewhat safe. I think this will die soon, which is why I'm not going to advance it. There's a knifed. Another imp. So he's going to have the imps to deal with my SanSan if he can get in. Which he can with the David. Alright, so we're going to res Mark Yale. We're going to eat the counter from hostile. And then we're going to flip this over. Make him deal with it. All this does is just empty his David, which is nice for us later. Oh yeah, David in E3 goes through. So if you want 2 credits or want him to pay for this, we want him to pay for it if he will. Oh, this is removed from the game. Yeah, okay. Oops. Don't know how that happened. Yeah, imps the SanSan. He's going to trash this for $3. We have another one, right? So I'm kind of thinking he'll leave it, but okay, he must have the money. With the prepaids, he's been doing all right. These sample things are all for knife. He's going to knife everything I have. Yeah, so you can play Paintbrush knifed. Okay, he's going to run here, and we're going to use the Jackson, obviously. We want SanSan back. We actually don't want either of these cards especially much, but the Mark Yale is okay. There are things that he can run. So we're going to have some trouble finding a trick of light bank. What has he just done here? He's got a click left. Okay. He hasn't used his Quetzal ability at this turn, so this doesn't do much. Resing it accomplishes what? He spends $3, $2. No, it's not exciting. I'm just going to res Mark. I'm going to actually, I think, eat all the engine encounters for money. And then trash himself. That didn't quite work. I gained... should have 12 more. Should be at 21. Another boot camp, which we don't really need or want. There's an Atlas. What are we going to do with this Atlas? We know he has knife and he's coming for our Caduceus. Or he's coming for our remote with that. I feel like maybe we just lead with the boot camp and hope he then does something. So we need to advance something to get this trick of light on the Atlas. However, our stuff is all going to die. Like, if we start advancing this wormhole, he can then Paintbrush knifed it. Though then he has a bit of trouble with the archer, has to spend a David counter and a few bucks. The ideal trick of light bank would be a unresed ice wall that we just would never res. So we have plenty of money. I'm going to put my money into the trace and we'll make him pay to get through. So both Jacksons are gone. This boot camp actually does nothing besides let us res things, which we never want to do. He bounces for a tag, loses the tag. So he wants to knife this archer, but he also is concerned with the cost. But we're in a tough spot where if we just put an Alice, he can just take it. Retrieval run is going to pop out. Gets what, a fresh David does he have in there? I wasn't actually paying attention to his heap. Oh, he gets a mimic. That's fair. It's trash from housekeeping still. Discards Deja Vu, that's pretty nice. What do we have Orion here? You know, that's gonna do just fine. Oops. Now the problem is, he can't quite, he has to paintbrush this, right? We're gonna not res this, ever. We're gonna try Trick of Light next turn. Don't want to play any cards, so I want to go make him keep 1 and 4 at this shot. So playing this shipment, though, would save me $1, is not that exciting for me. Rather, next turn I'll install Atlas, I'll shipment and put a 3rd counter on, then I'll move 2 back over here. Yeah, so this archer's dead. Oh yeah, he can just break with the, he jack up accident. He meant to use knifed. Yeah, so this is the cool part. He can just kill this archer. And it's totally nothing I can do about it. Spends his bad pub, and now he can use Quetzal to break it because it's barrier, or the David. He should have used Quetzal, but David. Okay. Yeah, he's done it. Uses a David and his Quetzal ability. Comes in and is going to see this boot camp, which is no use to us, so he can trash it or not as he wants to. He's going to imp it. May as well, I guess. So that is the fate of any of our res dice. And he has the same old things to back it up. Kind of a neat concept. Because he can take care of the big ice that Parasite would not take care of. That said, like, this Enigma's kept him out of my HQ the entire game, so there's certainly weaknesses to playing these cards instead of just regular breakers. Or Parasites. Haven't even seen any Parasites out of him yet. Well, we actually can't stick this. So I'm not going to try. I'm going to just slam this. We're going to shipment from Kaguya. And then we'll Trick of Light and put 2 of the counters over here. So this gives us an Alice with a token, which is extremely powerful. We're in a happy place. Did he properly discard from last turn when he played something? Okay, he just didn't install anything last turn. Housekeeping is doing work. So if we were to install this SanSan, he can just go trash it for 5, or he can get an imp, come back. Oh, I'm gonna play knife from hand and kill this Enigma stone dead. The bad pop doesn't even cost him any money. Good on him. Sees a SanSan, probably needs to trash that. Though he'd rather have an imp to do it. I don't know if he's going to try to come back with imp. Yeah. Might as well pay $4 and get rid of that. Is he gonna run out of cards? He's at 15 in his stack. You're gonna see the last card here. It's a hedge fund. Womp womp. Top deck another SanSan. Now we don't have anywhere to put it that's actually safe. Caduceus can tax him too to look at it. That's probably as good as anything else. And he has to go, right? So it's gonna tie up his actions. And as far as he's concerned, if we do have an agenda, we're just going to slam it here anyway. So there's no way for him to tell whether this is an agenda or it's something he doesn't care about, because it's simply the top card of our deck. Yeah, he can use another imp here. Is he going to retrieve run or something? That would be maybe what he needs to do. So there's 2 knife in the trash. This is kind of neat. Singularity. It's expensive. Super expensive. But the prepaids help blunt that, I guess. And it gets past Ash. Doesn't beat Caprice. But against the Whale Index, it does beat Ash, which is nice. I could almost rather play Quest Complete. But, you know. This could be good. I haven't seen it be good recently, but at some point it's going to do something. Housekeeping still picking away at his hand. Discard Singularity again. Yeah, so you see it's not really doing that much when it's cards that he doesn't want anyway. But it's still here, so I don't hate the card. I think it's decent. He's going to play Retrieval Run. But it's danger zone, because if you leave a SanSan on the board, I get the another Alice, go to 6 points. Then the... yeah. Needs to get in here right now, or he loses the game. Oh, he went to the wrong place. He's going to kill my hedge fund. Eesh. Yeah, that was not what he needed to do. So now we're going to get to do the Alice train. And with the token we can chain out into the hostile takeover. And he can't do a lot about it except maybe Utopia share it at the right moment. Right in the deuce. You know, it costs him $2. This is fine. We only need $2 to score our hostile takeover. And if he's poor, he can't do as much to us. So the imp is doing some work for him, but it's a little bit too late. Let's see if he can play shard or something to deal with this. Go to my hand, see what the card is. Makes sense. Though if it was a din, I would have scored that probably instead of the other one, but he's going to play the shard out. Discard to housekeeping. Discard Deja Vu. That's not bad to hit. Could be another knifed, or it could be another like pair of imps. It's going in my hand again. What does he have? I can't have another one. Oh, he just hasn't seen this card. Yeah, that's right. Interesting. So now if I tutor, he's got a good chance to knock it out of my hand. Do we bluff this down here and make him deal with it? Or we go for a 5-card hand next turn so we don't get hit by... I think he has to run if we put this down. And the SanSan doesn't really help, we can't res it anyway. We want him to think here that we've just put an agenda, because otherwise he would... I don't know. This doesn't make a ton of sense. It would make the most sense if this is a SanSan, but he does check it just in case we're trying to sneak out, I guess, the third Atlas exactly, but it's safer in my hand, you'd think, than anywhere else. Honestly, waiting a turn is probably okay for us. Yeah, Wormhole's dead. And this counter means that actually archers are no problem for him to go through once. Yeah, with that shard hanging over us. And all our Jackson's gone. If we do dump a hostile takeover, then it's just gone. He's going to take it. Just checking the HQ in case we kept something in hand. Seems sensible. Get rid of the SanSan. Knocks the last 2 cards out. That's bold. I think if you want to do that, you should then deja vu and reinstall it. Because now he just misses, right? Yeah, that was a game-losing play, I think, because now we can tutor. Hostile. And he can't knock it out. Yeah, that's not how you want to do it. I think he had a decent chance. Or at least buy some more turns. If he waited till I tutored or kept me from tutoring at all in the first place. But even if we had an agenda, we would not have won. So a unique deck, I don't know how effective it's going to be in the end. He didn't get much at a Vigil. Would probably been better off with Imp, or with Grimoire actually, to have more Imp counters. But something different for sure. Thanks for watching.